They told you to toughen up, to grow a thick skin. They told you not to take things personally, to harden yourself against the pain. You tried, didn't you? You put on that emotional armor and pretended nothing could touch you. And yet, it still hurt. The wounds still found a way in. Listen to me, my friend. Everything you've been taught about not getting hurt is a lie. The world told you to hide your feelings, to act like you don't care. But inside, you care deeply. Inside, every insult, every betrayal, every rejection still cuts you. You can feel it, even beneath all that armor. Let's be clear. Numbing yourself isn't strength. Building higher walls isn't courage. You know this because every time you close off a piece of your heart, you feel yourself breaking a little more. You've been avoiding pain like the plague, but in doing so, you've let it fester in the dark corners of your soul. How many times have you tried to shrug off an insult, only to lie awake at night replaying it in your head? How often do you laugh it off when someone hurts you, then later feel that familiar knot in your chest? You keep telling yourself it doesn't matter, but it does. The pain is still there. Here is the secret no one told you. Nothing and no one can hurt you now, except for you. The real danger was never the words or actions of others. The real danger was the wound inside you that never healed. The part of you that believed every cruel word. It's been hurting you all along. You wear a mask every day. A confident face, an indifferent shrug, a forced smile. That mask is your armor. You think it shields your vulnerable core from harm. But ask yourself, what good is armor when it's empty inside? A suit of armor with nothing alive within is just a metal coffin standing upright. Your persona, the you that you show the world, is this armor. Polished, unblemished, pretending to be invincible. Meanwhile, behind it, you feel fragile. That facade is exhausting to maintain, isn't it? Every day you add another layer to keep others out, hoping it will keep you safe. It hasn't, and it won't. Inside, you're still hurting. Inside that shell, you feel fear, insecurity, anger. All the things you won't let the world see. You hide them because you think they're weaknesses. You lock them in the basement of your mind and hope they'll just rot away quietly. But they don't. Locked away, they only grow stronger in the dark. Carl Jung had a name for all that you hide: the shadow. It's every emotion you deny, every desire you repress, every truth you refuse to admit. You shove these parts of yourself into the unconscious and slam the door. You think if you ignore them long enough, they'll disappear. But you know they're still there, lurking. You can feel your shadow sometimes, can't you? That sudden surge of anger that shocks even you. That flash of jealousy or bitterness that makes you wonder, was that really me? Yes, it was you. A part of you that you've tried to bury. A part of you that's tired of being ignored and pushed down. The more you reject your shadow, the more power it has over you. What you refuse to face will haunt you from the dark. It sneaks out in ugly ways, in moments of rage, in anxiety that grips you for no obvious reason, in the quiet voice that whispers you're not good enough. You can't run from it. You feel hurt by others, but what if I told you that every harsh thing they say merely echoes something within you? Think about it. When someone calls you a failure and it devastates you, isn't it because part of you believes they might be right? That belief is a wound you carry, one that formed long before they opened their mouth. We project our own wounds onto the world. The flaws you refuse to accept in yourself, you will see in others. If you're secretly ashamed of your anger, everyone else will seem too aggressive. And when you secretly feel unlovable, you interpret everything people do as an attack on your worth. Every emotional trigger is a mirror. The world pokes at you, and whatever makes you scream in pain is exactly where you have an unhealed wound. It's like pressing on a bruise. The pain flares because the bruise is already there. Other people's words and actions are the pressure, but the bruise belongs to you. Do you see now why no insult or rejection can truly hurt you unless some part of you agrees with it? You let their blade in because you were already bleeding. You handed them the weapon by secretly believing the worst about yourself. It's harsh to admit, but it's also liberating. Take away that hidden self-doubt, and no blade can cut you. So stop handing out weapons to the world. Stop giving strangers the keys to your inner dungeon. They only find your weak spots because you keep the wounds open and exposed. It's time to do what you've avoided your whole life. Turn inward and face the pain you've been running from. Look directly at the parts of yourself you've locked away, the rage that scares you, the sadness you drown in distractions, the neediness you're ashamed of, all of it. Drag those pieces into the light. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it will make you tremble. Do it anyway. You cannot heal what you refuse to see. This is the process Carl Jung called individuation, becoming indivisible, whole. Think of it as gathering all the scattered, exiled pieces of yourself and welcoming them home. You take off the mask and meet your own gaze honestly for the first time. No more lies, no more pretending to be fine. You confront the truth of yourself, raw and unfiltered. At first, it feels like cracking open. The pain you've suppressed will rush out like floodwater from a broken dam. You'll feel exposed, vulnerable, maybe even desperate. That's okay. That is the necessary chaos before the calm. It's the storm tearing through your life, ripping off the false rooftops and flimsy shelters you built. It feels like destruction, but really it's a cleansing. Stay with it. Most people run at this point. As soon as they feel the first sting of real self-honesty, they bolt back to comfortable illusions. Not you. Not this time. Let the storm hit. Let it blow away everything fake. Stand in the downpour of truth, even if you're shaking. You will not melt or die from feeling this pain. You'll be reborn from it. You might be wondering, what exactly will you find in that storm? You'll find memories you've buried, truths about yourself that you've denied. You'll see the ways you've betrayed yourself just to avoid discomfort. You'll see how you've made choices out of fear, staying in the wrong relationships, keeping silent when you needed to speak, all to avoid being hurt. These realizations will hit hard. Perhaps you realize you've been living as a smaller version of yourself just to please others or to avoid judgment. You might see that your so-called kindness was often just people-pleasing, driven by fear of conflict. You will notice that your cynicism or "I don't care" attitude was a mask for a very deep disappointment and longing. These truths are heavy. Let them sink in. As you see these parts of yourself clearly, your fear begins to subside. The shadows lose their menace now that you're looking at them in the eye. That angry, bitter side of you, you finally listen to it. That wounded child inside, you stop shaming it and let it speak. Even the monsters in the dark shrink once you shine a light on them. Integration. All those pieces of you that were scattered in the dark, you're integrating them one by one. You're taking power back from each old wound. Instead of letting anger control you, you channel it into assertiveness. Instead of letting sadness drown you, it teaches you compassion. Every piece you reclaim makes you stronger. Can you feel it? That shift deep inside? It's the sensation of your core solidifying. Not a hard shell, but a solid core. A shell is brittle. It cracks under enough force. But a solid core absorbs shock. You're developing an emotional center of gravity, so strong the world can't knock you out of orbit. This is what real resilience looks like. Not a deadening of feeling, but a fortification of self. You're not becoming emotionless. You're becoming whole. When you're whole, Pain doesn't scare you because you know it's just another part of life, another part of you to welcome and learn from. When you are whole, you don't break. You bend, you transform, you endure. Remember the armor you used to cling to? You don't need it now. The irony is, by facing the pain you were avoiding, you forged something inside you that armor could never give: genuine strength. You have become like tempered steel, heated by ordeal and cooled by wisdom, unbreakable from the inside out. What outside force can shatter you now? None. Think about the worst insult someone ever threw at you, the kind that once cut you deep. Now picture hearing those same words after you've accepted every part of yourself, even your flaws. For someone who knows exactly who they are and has made peace with their imperfections, those words carry no weight, because there is no part of you left that secretly agrees with them. You may still feel the sting of words or the ache of loss, but it no longer owns you. Pain moves through you like a brief winter gust. It doesn't settle in your bones. You've faced far worse in your nightmares. Compared to the wars you fought inside, these outside troubles are tiny pricks on your skin. Look at how far you've come. What used to send you into despair is now a lesson. The triggers that once controlled you have become signals that guide you. When something hurts, you don't collapse. Instead, you ask, what part of me is feeling this? And why? You respond with awareness instead of a wounded reaction. That changes everything. No one can puppeteer your emotions anymore. The strings of fear and insecurity that once controlled you have been cut. You've seized the control of your own psyche. You see through any attempt to manipulate you now, because you confronted the manipulator within. Next time someone tries to guilt, shame, or belittle you, you will notice something. It doesn't stick. Their poison can't find a home in you. This is emotional invulnerability. Not the cold, unfeeling kind, but the kind forged in fires of self-awareness. It's not that you wear impenetrable armor. It's that you have turned your wounds into wisdom. You have transformed every arrow shot at you into fuel for your growth. You don't hide from pain. You absorb it, you integrate it, and it strengthens you. Picture yourself as an ocean. On the surface, storms will come and go, the waves will churn, the winds will howl. But in the depths, you're calm, steady, and clear. Your depths are where your wholeness resides, where every broken piece has sunk and settled into place. No storm can reach that deep. No passing drama can disturb your inner peace. By now you understand. Nothing and no one can hurt you permanently without your permission. You have scars, but you wear them as part of you. They remind you of what you've overcome and the strength forged in their healing. Pain has become an old acquaintance, not a friend, but no longer an enemy. The world hasn't changed, but you have. You know there will still be liars, cheaters, and moments of cruelty out there. You know life will bring new trials, but something is fundamentally different in how you meet them. You meet them as a whole person now, with open eyes and a steady heart. The fear that once paralyzed you has turned into a quiet confidence. This quiet confidence comes from knowing yourself completely. You've met your own darkness and touched your own suffering. Nothing outside you can frighten you the way your own demons once did. Becoming familiar with the worst in you taught you compassion and power. Now, when life or other people show you their worst, you recognize it for what it is. You don't recoil, you deal with it. Understand, this isn't about becoming perfect or invincibly happy. You will still have bad days and still feel pain, but you won't be powerless or a victim anymore. When pain comes, you will know it's just a message, a reminder to pay attention to something inside. You'll handle it, you'll use it. You won't cower like you used to. Emotional resilience means you bend, but do not break. You feel, but you are not destroyed. That's the balance of psychic wholeness. You are neither enslaved by your emotions, nor trying to escape them. You ride the waves of emotion, but you are not the waves. You are the ocean that holds them. You are bigger than your fears, larger than any hurtful words. Nothing and no one can hurt you now, not like before, because the you that was once a helpless target is no longer in charge. You fired the inner critic that echoed every hurtful comment, and you silenced the inner victim that accepted every injustice. In their place stands a new you, an aware, empowered self that protects the whole you. Feel that for a moment. Breathe and feel the difference. This is what it means to be free inside. Other people's approval or disapproval is just noise now. You've tuned into a deeper signal, the voice of your own soul. It tells you the truth. You are worthy, and you are strong enough to face anything. That voice has grown loud, and now it drowns out all the rest. The journey you undertook isn't easy. It takes courage to face yourself, to rip off the armor and expose your wounds. But it's the only path to this kind of freedom. You proved you could do it by doing the hardest thing. You looked in the mirror and didn't flinch. That is real bravery, and it changes everything about how life affects you. So here you stand, scarred but standing, vulnerable yet unshakable. You've integrated your shadow, befriended your pain, and taken back your power. The whole world can throw its worst at you, and you'll always get back up. Not because you can't be knocked down, but because you know you will always rise again. That's the difference. That's what makes you untouchable. Your life is your own now. You no longer live to appease ghosts of the past or to fear phantoms of the future. You live here and now, in the truth of who you are. That truth is both your armor and your liberation. It shields you not by hiding you, but by revealing you completely to yourself. Now you see why nothing and no one can hurt you. You are no longer a bystander in your own life, no longer a victim of hidden wounds. You are the active force now. You tend your emotional wounds before they fester, and you own your flaws before anyone else can use them. You choose your direction instead of letting pain drive you blindly. You have become the guardian of your own heart. You don't outsource that job to anyone anymore. You were once a defenseless child, but now you've grown into that child's protector. When life tries to push you down, you hold yourself upright. When someone tries to break you, you respond with quiet, unyielding strength. This is your new reality. It's time to awaken now. No more autopilot. No more hiding from the inner work. Open your eyes and see your life with new clarity. Feel the power of knowing who you truly are, light and shadow both, and loving yourself for it. Step forward and act from that truth in every moment. The world won't know what to do with you now, alive and awake. Tell me the one truth about yourself you've been avoiding. Put it in the comments if you have the guts. Disappear from here now and live your life fully. Use what you've learned, and when you're ready for more truth, more growth, come back. I'll be here, as I always am, standing quietly at the edge of your awareness, where your fear and your power meet.